Hello, welcome to Tauks, our AgencyUK podcast, where we talk about anything that we found interesting recently in the advertising and marketing space. I am Megan and I'm the Paid Media Director here at AgencyUK, and I'm joined with my lovely colleague Zoe.
Hi, I'm Zoe. I am the Digital Marketing Executive.
Nice. So today we're going to be talking about LinkedIn, but more specifically like why people are doing better than brands, or why people follow people rather than brands on the platform. And if you are a brand, like what you can do about it to kind of increase your engagement, and how you can leverage your people in your company to help you improve your engagement on the platform. So I suppose the first question is, why are we talking about this today?
Yeah, why are we here? What started this conversation? So we actually both came across the same post on LinkedIn, didn't we? So this post was from Rana, I can't actually pronounce the surname, but she posted on LinkedIn, basically that's a hard pill to swallow, but people want to follow people, not brands. How can we get around this? And it's just that brand accounts basically feel like personal accounts. So for example, Bill Gates, he has 35.2 million followers, but Microsoft itself has 22 million followers. So what is the lesson here, and why are people wanting to follow Bill Gates rather than Microsoft, basically?
Yeah. There are quite a lot of examples actually that we found when we were doing some research into this. There seems to be loads of people that own the brands that are doing way better on their personal account rather than via their brand account. So like Grace Beverley, I know she's an influencer within herself now, but she has how many like millions?
Yeah, so 153k followers, whereas Tala, she has 45k followers, so it's that massive difference of what are they engaging with on Grace's profile that isn't on Tala.
Yeah, exactly. Even Elon Musk versus Tesla, and Virgin versus Richard Branson, we're seeing it across the platform. I mean, I think like personally, obviously we as an agency run LinkedIn accounts for most of our like business to business accounts, and we're seeing now that the more that they increase their engagement, or the more they have people in their content, the higher their engagement is. And actually we're seeing it across the board. I think platforms such as TikTok and influencers have shaped this new narrative of how people want to engage with other people and brands online.
That user-generated content, basically.
Exactly. Yeah. Even like from our consumer accounts, we've got one client who we work really closely with from an organic perspective and from a paid perspective, and when we use user-generated content in our ads, we see like 4 times higher engagement than when we use kind of more designed assets. So we're definitely seeing it across the board, and I suppose it just builds that personality, doesn't it? If a brand is...
If you have that face behind that profile, you're more likely to... Well, it's a human connection, first of all, isn't it? So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I think this is what brands can do to kind of leverage that, or like take notes from these influencers. Yeah. So for one of our B2B clients at the moment, we're doing a lot of thought leadership ads, aren't we? And we've seen a massive uplift in engagement and clicks through to site, actually. Yeah. So thought leadership ads, for any of you guys that aren't aware of them, basically you get your employee to post like they would organically on the platform on LinkedIn, and then you put some paid media behind it on behalf of the brand. So it will have your employee's name, and then it will say sponsored by the brand that they work for. And it just helps increase your reach. It brings people to the forefront of the platform. It shows your audience who are actually working behind the brand.
That static asset, or it could be animation, but it will actually contain that person that has also, it's been sponsored by, won't it? So.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And like you said to me previously, people follow people, right? And we buy from people. Yeah. So, it's all about bringing them to life and kind of putting... You don't have to have a face behind a brand, I don't think.
No, I think it's just having that... It's being, I guess, in touch with the real world and being like authentic with it. So it's like, it's not all false information you're sharing. You're actually sharing that like humor or like whatever that tone of voice may be for that brand, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, like I mentioned, we've seen some incredible results from our thought leadership ads compared to when we just do kind of static assets. I think LinkedIn kind of see that as when you share messages by employees, they said that employees go up 561% rather than when the same message is shared just on kind of their own brand channel. So that really highlights.
Crazy.
Yeah, that is mad, 561%. And also they say that employee networks are 10 times larger than the company, so really utilise your employees' network to get your brand out there as well. And people are 3 times more likely to trust company information shared by an employee rather than that shared by a CEO, which is mental.
Yeah, no, it's bad.
I suppose like we don't really, for a lot of companies, we don't really know who the CEOs are.
No,
whereas,
they're kind of hidden, aren't they, really? Like,
yeah,
they're senior level, so they're kind of just out the way, like not too involved in, I guess, maybe the main
day-to-day
that's going on.
Yeah, exactly. So when we hear from people who are kind of less senior, that are in the day-to-day, it builds that authenticity, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
That human connection that we all, like, that is like, as human beings, we crave that human interaction and social interactions. So we're kind of applying that our like offline behaviour with our online behaviour, I suppose. And one of the brands that I really like seeing at the moment is Jaime Laing and how he works with candy kittens. I think he's done such a good job on LinkedIn as well. I know he's, again, an influencer in his own right, along with his wife. But yeah, they really make sure that Candy Kittens is all about the people and getting out there, showing the product to people in the street, and then capturing that footage and putting it online, which I think really helps like tell their brand story.
No, and they're quite funny together as well, aren't they? So people are more likely going to be drawn to that. So yeah, exactly. And another client that we're actually seeing similar results with at the moment, we work with a bakeware and cookware brand, and we've just started introducing people into their conversion assets. So typically, you know, we see that static ads drive quicker action, get people onto the website a lot quicker, but we've started testing reels and having people like using the product and showing how the product I don't know, like compares to others, their competitors, and we've seen 4 times increase in click-through rate on reels as opposed to their statics, which is incredible. You're seeing it in action, the actual equipment that they're wanting to sell. So
I don't know, like how you, like when you're served an ad or something, do you feel like you engage with it more?
Yeah,
if it's a video,
probably. I guess when it is a static, it is normally just maybe that lifestyle imagery, or I don't know, it's got the like illustrative stuff around it. So yeah, really nice. But then when you see it being put to use, and like if it's got a nice background as well, and it's all been like staged right, it's like quite satisfying as well to watch. So yeah, I'd probably want to click through if I was seeing it in use.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think it works better with consumer brands. Something like food and drink, or bakeware, pet food.
Even like gym clothing or something like that. You want to see if it's actually good and like does what it says it's going to do. Yeah, you don't just want to see in product, you want to see them moving around in it. Like pet food. I've got a dog, and I would rather see another dog actually eating it rather than just seeing it in the packet. To consume.
Literally. So I think like B2B brands can really take learnings from consumer brands and adopt that, because like we mentioned earlier, people buy from people at the end of the day. When you want to use a service, or you go into store and you want to use a service, you're going to speak to, a representative. When a lot of our clients are in the pharmaceutical sector, But, you know, when you have a product and you're taking a drug to market,
Yeah.
you want to make sure you're speaking to a person
Yeah.
and you know everything that's going to happen and the ins and outs of it. You don't just take your, you know, you don't just see a brand and then go
like take their word for it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You always hear from a person. So if we can bring the people to the consumer earlier, I think that just helps the journey.
Yeah.
Pushes them closer to that conversion.
Yeah. I guess it kind of like you said about pharmaceuticals as well, like what they're wanting to sell. It's kind of also like goes back to your gut instinct as well. Like if you're seeing something and you don't know if it's trustworthy or not, like that's when the company needs to work harder to push it out there as like, why is this safe? Why is it beneficial for us? And
100%.
like, that's when we then start getting a good gut instinct of like, okay, yeah, this product isn't too bad. Like, I'll look into this. I'll get in touch with them, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And if you hear someone actually saying that in an asset rather than it just written down, you get a like stronger gut instinct.
Yeah.
You know,
and once again, it's a real person talking you through that product. So
exactly. Yeah. Even if they are paid by the company.
Yeah.
So they work.
Leave that bit out.
Yeah. No, it's still so important. Yeah. So I suppose we can like wrap up a little bit and like summarize some of the things that we've kind of researched after looking into this. But I think the first thing is for brands not to be scared to put people at the forefront, especially on platforms like LinkedIn, where, you know, it's the largest professional network in the world. There's millions
so much going on LinkedIn.
Exactly. There are millions of people using the platform every single day. So get your people out on your assets first and foremost, because we've said it again, but people buy from people, and that is like the ultimate thing, right? You want to make sure that the people are brought forward into that consumer journey, so that when they speak to someone on the phone or start using that service, then they're already kind of in touch with who works at the company and building that trust.
Yeah, and then I guess maybe second point, just venturing out from statics, I guess, really getting that person on someone else's phone when they see an ad come through, or I guess putting your products to life, really, with someone behind it too. Yeah.
And I think the final thing probably is, if you are going to start using video and reels, and you're going to start putting people at the forefront of your assets, really think about the personality of your brand and make sure that that translates across all of your assets. Think about who you want to feature, different seniorities, different walks of life, and kind of bringing that people that work with the company like day in, day out, like in the weeds of it, bring them to the forefront and kind of shine a light off them too, because I'm sure your employees will also like feel honoured to kind of get involved and be recognised by the company, and that paid budget is put behind them as well. So definitely encourage it. But thank you so much for listening to our episode of Tauks. Please like, subscribe, follow, all the usual, and we'll be
Stay
back
tuned for the next one.
Thank you.